Hello, I'm the Doctor. Basically, run.
Hello dear viewer, welcome to the sadly last episode of PCs and Belly's Dwemer Builds. My entry for the Dwemer themed Mage is the Time Lord, a build very loosely inspired by some non-Elder Scrolls Time Lords who tend to be very British, have a companion and travel in an interdimensional police booth. The inspiration doesn't really show that much through gameplay, but rest assured I tried to roleplay it in my head. The build is one of my best. Yeah, I'm going to call it right now. I combined many things I learned when making some older builds, like the Ghost Walk blinking of my Explorer, quick casting telekinesis spell of the Force Master, infinite and enhanced slow time of my War Mage, the speed and telekinetic rune play of my Sword Mage, and on top of that I added a little exploit, making the build benefit from 3 Standing Stone abilities and a super OP Tonal Architect features, as well as some obscure items available in mods nobody uses for builds. The build also offers some mini-games that can answer important questions, like how many times you need to toss a tankard at someone to make them stop breathing. Should you grab the same tankard as it bounces off your victim, or toss a sweet roll instead? Can you kill a bandit by tossing another bandit at them?
The answer is sadly no.
How many times you need to bounce a bandit up in the air to make sure he ceases to exist upon crashing into the ground? Buckle up and get some snacks, because I sense this one is going to be lengthy. There is a lot to talk about, and I had quite a few goals to achieve in this build. First, have a stupidly powerful mage relying mostly on crowd control and support, no distraction perks. Second, get the infinite slow time. Third, use the full potential of the Tonal Architect mod. Speaking of which, here is the list of mods. Combining Apocalypse, Odin, Advanced Alteration and Tonal Architect is evil, but I did it anyway because I secretly hate Skyrim and constantly plot to break it. Project AHO has a nice Staff of Elements, which casts a random elemental destruction spell. It's perfect to spam them in slow time mode, but I guess you can replace it with any high damage destruction staff. There is another cool staff called Gartar Zir, as well as some other cool items to collect in Dwemer Ruins added by the good old Dwemer Spectres, or immersive creatures. Spectres are incorporated there. You can also ride a Dwemer Centurion when you find a certain ring from this mod. It's mostly useless, but it fits the character. Both of the aforementioned staffs have plenty of charges, which goes very well with the Tonal Architect summons, which you can energize with staff charges, giving them increased attack damage and HP as well as a bonus ability. And the makeshift staffs which you can manufacture in Tonal Architect can be buffed with Dwarven Clutter, which you will collect a lot of. You can reach some insane damage this way. Literally got 1000 damage per cast with some high-end fortified destruction potion and those high-end makeshift staffs. This is why we don't need any perks in destruction. Also, without any perks in sneak, we will be very competent at stealth missions. Muffle spell combined with a high-end fortified sneak enchantment and potion can make unarmored characters near undetectable, and even if detected, you are free to cast Ghost Walk spell will let you escape. So in the end, we seamlessly combine a distraction mage
Without distraction perks.
a stealthy infiltrator, extremely powerful alteration mage, and an extremely powerful summoner in one efficient build. I still couldn't force myself to use Time Lost Dwemer mod, even though it fits thematically. I mean, look at this guy. If I added the Time Lost Dwemer OP-ness into this mix, it wouldn't even be a build anymore. It would be a very elaborate way of enabling God mode. Let's talk character and backstory for a second. The Time Lord isn't exactly sure what universe he came from. He has vague memories and feelings about coming from a completely different plane of existence. He thinks he comes from an ancient race that discovered interdimensional travel and had a way of achieving immortality by reforming a new body each time the previous one starts failing. If it's true, something must have gone awfully wrong the last time it happened, because his memory is all fragmented and foggy, and his interdimensional booth isn't really working. He is stuck in Tamriel for now. Over time, he will begin to suspect it has something to do with the dragons, whose fate and power is intrinsically related to the currents of time. His best bet is trying to defeat Alduin, and maybe this will bring him his memory back, or at least let him leave the world in search of answers. He also seems to recall he already visited this world before and learned about the Dwemer, perhaps finding an Elder Scroll or two in one of their cities. Exploring their technology and knowledge can also help. It may also all be ramblings of a shattered mind. Who knows? The race of the build is High Elf. They look good in Dwemer robes.
I'm saving the world. I need a decent shirt.
The attribute spread is 4 points in magicka per 3 in health. Keep in mind this spread accounts for early game armor rating problems and legendary difficulty, as well as it assumes you will take the Initiate perk to cast all novice spells for free. If you wish to tinker with the build or play at lower difficulty, you should definitely take more magicka. The standing stone is the Atronach and the Lord and the Ritual. How easy! You need to have the Ethereal Crown in your favorites menu, activate the third stone, and then very quickly unequip and re-equip the crown. It doesn't always work, so save beforehand. I just hotkeyed the crown and spammed the hotkey and reloaded until it worked. I first thought I should use Apprentice to offset the magicka region penalty of the Atronach, but it didn't work as expected. Luckily, the magicka region potions and enchantments do increase regeneration even with the Atronach stone. Now for the skills, first and foremost, Alteration. The lack of destruction perks means we can take pretty much whatever we want in this skill tree, and it is the most useful tree for us. Obviously, all ranks of Mage armor and magic resistance, Okatos preparation and stability. Stability increases the duration of slow time, so it enables a huge chunk of our combat style. Initiate, allowing to cast novice spells of any school, means we can always use our Ghost Walk teleport, heal ourselves quite effectively without perks in Restoration, and cast the Retributive Barrier spell whenever we feel like it. All these spells will be free to cast. Reactive Barrier is an advanced alteration spell, increasing your armor when you hold it up and sending a staggering wave of force when released. There are also some interesting destruction novice spells in Apocalypse, like Crackle, which will follow the target repeatedly, dealing small amounts of damage.
Well, not that small if it's increased by 65% by the combination of Sorcerer's Robes and the Atronach Stone.
In Conjuration, go up the left branch up to Twin Souls, including both ranks of Oblivion Stone, which will improve armor and magic resistance of our Dwemer automatons. Combined with the entropic spells from Odin, Fortify Minions Summermyst enchantment, the energizing feature of Tonal Architect, and the Ritual Stone, increasing our summon limit, means we will be able to conjure up a team of 3 extremely powerful Dwemer Guardians. You can have a Sphere or 2 and a Homunculus, which is a very tanky Tonal Architect summon, which when energized will periodically pull the enemies towards itself and destroy them in close combat. Illusion is weird in this build. You need calm spells and courage for your companion to have easier time early game. Probably should use a companion early game. It will take some time before you accumulate all the necessary gear. Late in the game, however, most of Illusion will become redundant and overshadowed by your other abilities. There will be 2 spells that will remain useful, maybe. Quiet casting will help you greatly regardless of the level, allowing you, for example, to cast ritual spells comfortably. Hence, Animage and Master of the Mind are entirely optional. It depends on how long are you going to rely on calm spells to bypass combat. You may, however, choose to improve these spells with potions only. In enchanting, take the Armor and Regalia Enchanter, Extra Effect, and all the Staff perks. With them, your staff will spend much less charges and regain charges over time. This is great because you empower your Dwemer minions with staff charges. Your staffs will also be 50% more effective, which means 50% more damage on destruction staffs. This is great because you can increase the damage of the makeshift staffs with the Dwemer scraps. Also because you eventually will be able to stay in the slow time mode ceaselessly, like forever. You will be able to chain quite a lot of these purifier casts before your target even has the chance to react. Do you feel pity for the dragons yet?
Because I do.
To properly express your feelings towards dragons, take the Tonal Harmony, 3 ranks of Words of Power, and the Dova Zulan in speech.
I speak baby.
No, you don't.
I speak everything.
Tonal Harmony is essential early game. Before your alchemy is high enough, you won't have good means of healing, and your Magicka regen will be halted due to Atronach Stone. Both of these problems will be at least partly fixed when shouting, as you will heal all 3 attributes whenever you shout. Words of Power will make your slow time shout slow time even more. Thanks to this perk, you will have plenty of time to properly aim when trying to kill people with a sweet roll or something. If you are focused enough, you can literally dodge lightning spells with all 3 ranks of this perk. Dova Zulan gives you a chance to remove shout cooldown, and we will generate another chance for that via Enchantments. This means you can often shout when your shouts are already in effect. Lastly, we have 2 perks in Alchemy, Mastery and Benefactor. They are the perks necessary to make incredibly overpowered Fortify, Alteration, Distraction and Enchanting potions. It's definitely not my fault it takes so few perks. For the gear, we have the Staff of Elements and Gartar Zir. One to deal direct damage, and the other to stunlock enemies and also deal a little bit of damage. It's good to use them simultaneously, one in each hand. Then we have the Ethereal Crown to get all the stones we want, and as a little bonus, the Boilerman's Siege Ring, which summons a rideable Dwemer Centurion when equipped. This Centurion will only fight for you when you are not riding it. It's rather slow, will die eventually, it's a matter of style, you know. We won't be wearing that ring in dungeons. We will instead wear a Ring of Magicka Regeneration and Siphon Magicka, which will further fix our Atronach Stone related problems. The Necklace of Fortify Minions and Amplify Alteration, which reached 80% for me. 80% Amplify Alteration means 80% longer slow time, of course. We will have a Robe of Deep Breath and another Amplify Alteration. On the gloves, we have Deadly Reach and Fortify Magicka. Deadly Reach will let us use the Levitation rune wherever we want, as well as summon our friends wherever we want. And the boots should have Fortify Speed and Fortify Sneak enchantments. Yes, Fortify Speed, of course, because we don't have enough speed with the super empowered slow time shot. No, it's completely... trust me, it's not enough.
You need more.
And now for the long list of spells. Use Okato's Recital to auto-cast Muffle, Troll's Blood, and Momentum. Momentum will increase our movement speed by 35%, so with Fortify Speed enchantment it makes almost 60. Troll's Blood will be pretty effective even in the absence of restoration perks because of Atronach Stone and Sorcerer's Robes. The Power Stroke spell greatly enhances power attacks with a chance to fling enemies away. It's not for you, it's for your minions. You can give them this spell with a single cast of Power of the Master spell. But most importantly, Telekinesis. With the perk and your never-ending slow time effect, it is entirely possible to slaughter entire dungeons by throwing bottles and plates at people. If you want to go directly for your quest target, for example, you can just run through a dungeon like some insane arcane sonic speed rugby player, tossing everyone to the side until you meet the boss or the boss chest, whatever is your quest target. The cheaper and more early game equivalent for this is to use the Levitation rune to lift people in the air and explode them with a force wave of Retributive Barrier. This should become available to you way before you can unlock the Telekinetic Prodigy perk. There is more, of course, there is way more. You can use the Tarn's Prison spell to trap enemies for your minions to torture, for example. You can cast Mass Paralysis when invisible, and then just unleash your magical mini-nukes from the Pure Fire Staff. Sky is the limit, but for now it must be enough. Super fast, time-bending, blink-jumping, sweet-roll-tossing Dwarven summoner with a magic nuke for you to enjoy. Have fun, and remember to like and subscribe. You are apparently still here, so why wouldn't you subscribe? Go do it.
Now.
Have a lot of fun, guys, with this, and we will see each other again. But before I say bye-bye, I must add, I'm rather touched and also a little bit sad. This project is now over officially. I hope there will be a chance maybe for another collab at some point, or maybe even if not, I will always keep this as a precious memory, I must say. And go give some love to PCOutcast. If you know his channel, there will be a link in the description anyway if you don't. So yes, thanks PC, thank you, it was a pleasure and an honor. Thanks, and bye bye.